Now in session, the Honorable Brian T. Fenimore presiding. God save the United States and this honorable court.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please be seated. This is a very exciting day for all of you, and it is a great honor and privilege to be here with you today for your naturalization ceremony. I have several remarks that I will make at the end of the program, and now we'll kick off with having the Kansas City Public Library's Director and Chief Executive, Mr. John Herron, to give some opening remarks. Mr. Herron?
Well, on behalf of the Kansas City Public Library, I want to welcome you to our favorite event of the year. Here at the library, we sponsor literally hundreds of activities throughout the calendar year, but few stand as tall or as important as the naturalization ceremony. You've each worked so very hard to get here. I want to encourage you to take just a moment, just a half a second, and reflect on where your journeys began, no doubt so long and so far away from where we are today. At the foundation of the American experiment is the idea of citizenship. It's not an American invention, of course. Classical civilizations have understood this concept. But in our context, all that stands as proof of the strength and vitality of our national political system stems from citizenship. That you pursued this goal with such focus and dedication stands as testimony to its great value. And in America, that value has very deep roots. Come with me all the way back to 1884, where there was an extremely consequential presidential election in a very divided nation. Turns out a time not that so different from our very own. In that election, one party had become so extreme that many of its most loyal and dedicated supporters had left, and through compromise and cooperation, they voted for a reformer from the opposing party. What resulted from this effort was something now known as the Progressive Era, one of the most incredible periods of positive social and economic change in our nation's history. That ability to find common cause is an important lesson for all Americans. But I bring up this brief history lesson for a different reason, because watching the election that year was one of America's best-known cultural figures, the writer Walt Whitman. He didn't focus on the outcome of the election, but rather what captured his attention was what it meant to young citizens to participate in the political process. Looking back at that election, Whitman wrote, "If I was to name what made this nation so powerful, it's not our natural resources, nor our thriving industry, but our humanity on America's choosing day. The heart of it, not in the chosen, but in the act itself." His nearly century-old language can be hard to understand at times. But what he is saying is that it doesn't always matter who is elected, but that we citizens get the opportunity to choose. Many of you come from places where that right is not assured. But of course, here it is. No one in this room needs to be reminded that the American system is far from perfect. But our request to you today, and certainly every day moving forward, is to remember that the promise of America works only with an active and engaged citizenry. It is now part of your responsibility to ensure that the ideal America remains valid for every citizen. It is no small obligation, but it is required to ensure that you and your children get access to the benefits of our national system. That might seem like a heavy lift, but know that you don't have to do it on your own. Indeed, many of us here will help you all along that way. So thank you for being here. Many congratulations on your accomplishments.
Thank you, Mr. Herron. Who will be introducing the applicants today? You may proceed. Yes, you may proceed.
Thank you. My name is Officer Hartman. I'm from the Kansas City Field Office with USCIS. This afternoon, I would like to introduce 98 applicants for United States citizenship. These applicants come from 35 different countries. They have met all the formal requirements for United States citizenship. Upon taking the oath of allegiance, each one will have the rights, privileges, and responsibility of United States citizenship. As your country is called, please stand and be recognized. Australia. Belgium. Bosnia and Herzegovina. Brazil. Burma. China. Congo. Cuba. Dominican Republic. We are skipping. Ecuador. Eritrea. Ethiopia. Fiji. Germany. Guyana. Haiti. Honduras. India. Iraq. Jamaica. Jordan. Kenya. Mexico. Nepal. Nigeria. Norway. Pakistan. Philippines. Romania. we go. Slovakia. South Korea. Sudan. Syria. Taiwan. Vietnam. Zimbabwe. And this, Your Honor, is our class of applicants for this afternoon. At this time, the government moves that the oath of allegiance be administered to the prospective citizens of the United States, and that all petitions for name of change be granted.
Your motion is granted, and the court hereby accepts these 98 applicants. Mr. Henderson, will you please administer the oath? Mr. Henderson is going to lead all of you in the oath, and I want you to say it loud and proud so everyone outside on the sidewalk can hear you, okay?
Will all prospective citizens please stand, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I do hereby declare upon oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state or sovereignty of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely without mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God.
By the power vested in me under the Constitution and laws of the United States, the court hereby grants each of you citizenship in the United States of America. Congratulations. You may be seated. Next, we will hear from Mr. Jeff Resmovic, the Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy at the Department of Homeland Security. Mr. Resmovic.
Thank you, Your Honor. What a special day. And we are in a special place, the Kansas City Library, which is not only a beautiful location, but a place with spirit and heart, a place that supports immigrants in the Kansas City community with their citizenship applications. Thank you for the opportunity to join you. If I may, I would like to share with you a story. In December 1956, less than 2 months after Soviet tanks rolled into Hungary, a 7-year-old Hungarian girl named Evie was told by her parents that it was time to go. Evie's parents, both of whom were Jewish survivors of the Holocaust, knew firsthand the horrors of persecution, and they wanted a better life for themselves and for their children. So Evie, her older brother Joe, and their parents took a train to a town near the Austrian border. They stayed at a safe house near the border until nightfall, when it was time to make their escape. They walked for hours. The Soviet soldiers shot flares into the sky to detect Hungarians who were trying to escape, and Evie and her family lay flat on the ground so that they wouldn't be detected as the flares lit up the night sky. For months afterwards, Evie had a recurring nightmare that she had fallen asleep on the journey and was left behind to be caught and imprisoned by the Soviet army. But as a family, they managed to cross the border into Austria under the cover of darkness. And on Christmas Day, 1956, they boarded an airplane and came to the United States as refugees. Evie's father got a job at a hospital. They learned English, and they became US citizens, declaring the same oath of allegiance that you declared just moments ago. Evie grew up, she finished school, she got her PhD, and she took a job serving the very US government that offered her and her family a place of refuge. She got married to a kind and funny man named Victor, himself an immigrant and also the son of Holocaust survivors. And together they had 2 children, a girl and a boy. They built the life that their parents had risked everything for. That is why, as Evie and Victor's son, it is among the great honors of my life to be the very first to congratulate you, to welcome you, and to call you my fellow Americans. You come from 35 different countries. Each of you had a different journey to get here, but I know one thing that binds all of your journeys together. None of them was easy. And as you begin on your new American journey, I hope you know that that doesn't mean leaving your heritage or your story behind. On the contrary, I hope that you carry your story, your journey with you, and share it every chance you get. Because your story is an American story, as old as the country itself. And when you share it, you enrich those around you. You enrich this nation of immigrants. My mom helped to enrich this country, not only by sharing her story, but by being a public servant, working for the federal government of the United States for 30 years. And she instilled in me that same belief in public service. Today, I have the privilege of serving as the Deputy Chief of Staff at the Department of Homeland Security, where I have the distinct honor of working for Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, who is himself a refugee to this country and a naturalized citizen just like you. His parents brought him to this country in 1960. They were political refugees having fled the communist takeover of Cuba. And we know that people fleeing their homes in search of a better life is not a thing of the past. Some of you know this firsthand. Around the world, there are more displaced people right now than at any time since World War II. And in the midst of all this uncertainty around the world, the tradition that we perform here today, our oldest tradition, our proudest tradition, serving as a nation of welcome and possibility for immigrants, has never been more important. Thank you for the opportunity to share in this important moment with you, my fellow Americans. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Resmovic. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you as my new fellow citizens, my new brothers and sisters in this great nation. You are to be congratulated on all of your hard work and your accomplishments. At the end of our ceremony today, I will ask everyone in the room to stand and join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. It is printed on the last page of your program. And as we do that, I ask that you focus on the last 5 words of the pledge: liberty and justice for all, and think about what those words mean to you. The oath that you just swore is one that all naturalized citizens must make when becoming a citizen. The oath is not just words on a piece of paper. I encourage you to periodically review and reflect upon your oath, because it expresses both idealism and a commitment to hold true and strive to protect the rights, liberties, and privileges that are enshrined in our Constitution. And just like the oath that I swore when I became a United States judge, you promise to support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States. The Constitution is the heart and soul of our nation. For more than 230 years, our Constitution has been the symbol of and a testament to people's capacity to govern themselves. Its overarching intent was to give each and every one of us the right and the opportunity to live life, to enjoy liberties, and to pursue happiness, all free from oppression. It gives each of us the ability and the responsibility to always endeavor to do what is right and good, to better our lives and the lives of our neighbors, to make a positive and meaningful difference in the world, to dream of ways to make this an even greater nation, and to find ways to make those dreams come true. Now, what are some of the ways that you can do this? First, you should get to know your neighbors and get involved in your community. There is nothing more important than grassroots efforts at the community level to get involved and to make this a better place to live. There are many opportunities out there for you to consider. For example, your local schools, your community charities, and service organizations, to name a few. And if you can't find any that appeal to you, create new opportunities for you and your fellow citizens to engage in to make this a better place to live. You should respect the rights and the privileges of others, and you should be willing to work and to work hard, not only for the ability to acquire worldly possessions, but also to gain education and knowledge. You should be patriotic and proud of your new citizenship. And as Mr. Herron suggested, you should participate in your local, state, and national governments by voting. Inform yourself of the important issues that impact you and your fellow citizens, and inform yourself of the candidates who are running for office. Nearly all of us can trace our heritage to other countries. One of my ancestors, Richard Fenimore, came here from England in around 1680. Richard was a farmer and a master bricklayer. His grandson was James Fenimore Cooper, and he became a famous American author. For the next 300 years, the Fenimores in my direct line were all farmers. That is, until I broke ranks at my father's urging and went to college, and now here I am. And may we all hope someday in the next 300 years that some of your descendants will have the privilege and the opportunity to preside over one of these naturalization ceremonies. While your adopted homeland demands and deserves your complete allegiance which you have sworn today, you are fortunate to have and you should have concern about the land and the people of your birth. And as Mr. Resmovic said, in making you one of us, we Americans do not expect you to abandon the rich heritages from which you come. You should nurse the memories you have, you should teach your children and grandchildren of them, and enjoy your ethnic or national communities, all the time using them as building blocks for a better and more productive life in your new homeland. In closing, I wish all of you the good things in life. This is a thrilling moment for you and for everyone here today. And now will you please stand and join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to thank the Kansas City Public Library and our speakers for making this a very memorable occasion. Congratulations to all of our new fellow citizens. This is your special day. This concludes our ceremony today. Court is adjourned. Congratulations, everyone.